No.
Hit it.
Well, yeah.
We do that too.
Every night. You gotta stay warm somehow.
Passed out.
Dude, we really had to have figured out a better backpack system this year.
What gives you?
I think we was alright. I just it takes the last day to finally for me to say something about it. Like our chairs just won't move with our backpacks here.
Man, when you have a double table, why not use a double table? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
Last day of class. That's all. Put it up. Ooh.
This is recording the class.
Cool. What? I don't. She's probably staring at me, but I don't care. Okay, let's see what I can print the packet. Did I print the packet? I think so. Okay. We didn't get the essay questions. I haven't done the thing for
What
it.
are you talking about?
Technology, I have a quiz times 2.
Technology's gonna be cake.
14.
I have 101 myself.
Okay, communications. Oh, I gotta do the selection page in the final test. Don't worry about that. I just need to do the review sheet. I get to bring it into the test. I'm gonna put this is top priority.
Leadership?
Then this.
Leadership is top priority?
No, in this class. The top priority is do my paper. No, right now my stats is my
Is that your
top
second
priority.
leadership or your first?
Second.
How hard is that class?
It's not hard, it's just busy work. And if you fall behind just a little bit,
You have a lot of
it
work.
adds up. Every week you have a 2-page paper and a 1-page paper to write. Every week. And you don't know about it till Wednesday, and you have to have it by Monday. Yeah. They
Is there more than one teacher for that?
Yeah, there's more than one teacher, but they all do the same. Mine's actually, it's surprisingly easy. That's what's all.
Maybe it was that wrong last night.
I'm telling you, dude, if you have Qdoba, you wouldn't be able to go.
I don't even know what that is.
Qdoba?
Qdoba?
It's like a Mex. It's
That's
like a
the first time I've
Chipotle.
seen
But it's better. It is so much better.
Where is that?
There's one in Cedar Park. I don't think there's one around here.
And that's why we're not.
But dude,
Isn't there canes around here?
Is it like
Yeah,
the
in
same
Cedar
kind
Park.
of-
Canes
yeah,
is
it's the
so
same like
good.
setup,
I
but
love
it's like a
them.
lot cleaner. And
There's this
healthier.
PQ,
Like,
P,
the same
PDQ or
That's the first time I've
something.
read it.
In,
If you've eaten that pre-birds beef, that's cool.
I've been reading it.
Huh? He tweeted it.
what's that?
Yeah, quite a while ago.
What is it?
It's something. I tweeted it.
Drew Yik
I'm
Yak?
so confused. Like,
I'm tired of Drew. I don't know, he just has this innocent obnoxiousness.
Bro, you have absolutely.
Well, you live right across from him. He's around 24/7.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry.
It doesn't get bad until about 11 o'clock at night.
was that the like the master
Or like 9 o'clock, because that's when he's waiting to do something. And so he just has all this energy, and he's already dressed up and ready to go. And he just runs around and knocks on everybody's door.
Yeah. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? You want to come out? Come on, let's like play ping pong. Alright, it's time to get this shit done. Because I have a test and stats that I'm not ready for.
Test today?
No. Alright, technology project, Kim poster, blah, blah, done. Online. We talk about some shit.
At least they gave you like the 4 letters.
It usually does. Like people like that mad, so like change the little setting. Like you know how you can make sure.
I'm hungry. I should go get something. Class is about to start. Should I go get something now? I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out though.
Chick-fil-A?
No, I mean go down in there.
What, last?
Guys, it's been fun. I'm glad it's our last day.
I can only think of 2 days.
I'll see y'all what, Monday?
Even on those
Taking biology?
Yeah.
Taking biology?
No, heck no. I need to take that.
you kill zombies.
Fine. Damn it. I'm gonna eat my oh well. Pumpkin spice. Can't go wrong with pumpkin.
Anything pumpkin is gross.
Jealous. Hey, Dr. Keck.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you having a good day?
No.
Oh, threw me off.
No, I'm not.
Do you need a hug?
The monitor is not on. The monitor is
Bro,
on.
I didn't see y'all at all.
Really?
Yeah, I just had this feeling that I needed to look down for a second, so I put on the brakes, and then I saw like people running in my mirror, and I was like, "Whoa." Okay. Yeah, I couldn't see y'all.
Do you want to see?
I saw it.
Gunnar, do you want to see what I have in my backpack? Yeah, you have to get a bunch of drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Next semester.
Mm-hmm.
Drinks, I don't need some more. Just keep them.
I'll be around. We could do lab partner. When's your lab?
Monday.
Monday?
Are you taking chemistry next semester? Okay. I might have to stay a little
Don't lose
bit
it.
for my lab partner.
I don't blame him. I didn't have good lab
Talking
partner.
from Monday.
Would they have lab?
Monday. I think.
I really don't.
No, I need to look. I haven't looked at my schedule. It's gonna be my season, so I'm not trying to have a lie.
Yeah, that's
Hey, if you
Hey,
write
Drew, how'd you like that?
I'll give you $15 to write one page paper for me.
30.
30? I did 3 page papers for $20, man.
What time is that? 2? Yeah, I was passed out, but I opened the door and I was like, that is too loud. That is way too loud.
You went around so many different doors. You're like going.
What?
Is that why y'all kept singing and didn't stop? It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they knock on my door, and I open it, and they just it was like 3 of them singing right, like this close to my face. I tried.
the whole day.
I was like, okay, thanks guys, you're great. You're great. Guys, we're good. We're good.
You look like you're great.
And then they wouldn't stop, so I was just like, Is this just on like a sheet of paper, or do you have?
Yes. This goes on a sheet of paper. It needs to be one that doesn't have ruffles down the side. And I need to have your name on it, if you would, please.
You want my autograph too?
What do you need?
Yeah.
What's that?
Brandon, just write this on the board.
Don't write it.
They're brand new.
Not for you.
Is this like over the whole course of the semester, I'm assuming?
Is this an eval?
That's a better way to ask.
Yes. Yes. Who is speaking? Mr. Van Winkle, was that you?
Yes.
You just want to talk to me? Well, hang on.
I mean, you made it awkward, Drew.
It was late. And she didn't what she said.
She was asleep.
Yeah, some sleep, bro.
Yeah, somewhere. Ooh, that looks like a cool pencil.
I'm gonna work.
If not, I have another one probably. You want us to go ahead and answer these, like
I
one,
want you to
two?
go right ahead and answer those, yes.
Wait, what does this do? We put our name on it?
Yes.
Hmm?
I'm trying to reach the next part of my email and I can't go to.
No, the 10th can be.
Hmm?
She went back 10 minutes.
Oh, I guess whatever you did in class, whatever we did in lab.
Yes, we do. Now, this is supposed to work. Please. Nothing, just this needs to.
So, I'm saving my.
Okay, so while you are filling out this survey that we have up here, how many of you are taking Chem 2 in the spring? Because of the number of you taking Chem 2 in the spring, the labs are going to move around. And the lab, there are 2 labs for Chem 2, and they will be Monday from 12 to 3 or from 3 to 6. Originally, there was a Monday from 1 to 4 and a Tuesday from 9 to noon. But Monday, 12 to 3 and 3 to 6. So if there's somebody in here who has a difficulty with that, please let me know and we'll see what we can do, okay? Yes, ma'am.
Or just be like, you like choose which one.
Yeah, you can choose which one you're going into. You're not going to be.
You dropped this.
Let me find out from the dean how it's going to work. I know this is how it's going to be taught, but I'll find out how we're going to go about changing the stuff around. You'll
Wait a
probably
minute.
get an email over the Christmas holidays.
That's not right.
So, thinking about it that way.
Oh.
Yes, Mr. Maddox?
2013. Ah.
No, that's not. No, there is a textbook. And I don't know who has it with them, but I gave a number of people the information about it. I just wanted to know how many of you purchased it. For those of you taking Chem 2, it's probably a good idea to purchase the textbook between now and the 1st of January. It costs a penny and $3.99 shipping. You can't really beat that for a textbook.
Not really.
No.
Amazon Prime, it's a penny.
What's it called? Chemistry by Brown. Brown and LeMay. Most widely used general chemistry textbook in the United States.
And you want the 10th edition, not the newer one.
The new one, which I think is the 13th edition, is $379. The 10th edition is a penny by the 10th edition.
Who's your best?
About you? I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for C.
What?
I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for C.
Police? I said a project.
I said project.
Project was
I said, I wasn't a big fan of the project, but if it was in place in the lab report, then that's not anything.
I was going to say in place.
I didn't really like the lab reports. They weren't very
But you
Okay, so, yes, sir. Do you want me to come to you and talk to me?
Yes.
Are you going to say something I don't want to hear?
Everybody be quiet so we can listen.
No, it's just more or less a comment.
Do you have time between classes?
That depends what time is when.
Between classes, anytime.
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 large packages
Okay.
in support services.
Okay. Where do
Carts out in the hall.
In
The
D?
the rolling cart in D, you know, that is out in the hall.
Okay.
If you'll just bring them into the back, in the chemistry stock room.
Okay.
So because I have to open them and
I'll do
distribute them
probably
around.
about 12:30. Is that okay?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay,
You've got a key. So I just was telling you where the cart.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, Chester, what did you like best?
Mr. Clapp wants you to know
I
that
said
you
I really
cannot
like
find
going
that
to preserve.
textbook for less than $1.47, and he feels that's way too
Yeah, I can't afford that.
expensive.
Alright, so
High school, dude.
I've been brewing my tea for the past few days. I've saved already about $10 just by brewing my own tea. I found good concoction, good way to do it. Proud of myself. Just thought I wanted to share that with y'all. Wanted y'all to bask in the glory of awesomeness between us all. We're so smart. We just fix everything. Eat half my lunch.
You like that one.
Okay, take about another 5 minutes because then we're gonna talk about molecular geometry. And then I have your comprehensive makeup exams to give back.
I'd say the least is only doing water quality labs. Like, I'd rather do
Well, that's what
better labs.
I think that's what other
So we're gonna talk
Sciences are
about the comprehensive
Other
makeup
sciences?
exam.
like
Nah, chemistry
It
was feeling blown
benefited
to that.
about 20 to 25% of you here in the class. So you made a grade that was higher than one of the grades that you had.
Say what now?
Grades, I didn't break them down. I'm not going to give you a breakdown because there were a number of people, like Mr. Van Winkle, who came to support the community, right? And Mr. Manger did the same thing, and I appreciate your effort.
Wait, I didn't get a higher grade.
But there was someone who made a 100, and I think that
You
that
don't have to call
means
me out right now.
someone. and that deserves a congratulation, Miss Burgess.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations. It was a good job. Okay, so we're going to talk about molecular geometry, and we talked before. If you would pass your survey thingies down to the center, we talked before about Lewis structures, and we
Survey.
talked about. Okay.
Sorry.
Take another 2 minutes and then we'll do this. You're passing it down to the center. You're not bringing it up to the front.
I'm a little late.
All right. You didn't. Pass it down to the center and then we'll come by and pick it up. Take another minute or two.
Yeah, it's Sparky. You don't need to write an essay.
You can write an essay, Sparky. You're good to go.
It's so hot.
Look at him, he's so serious.
Guys, hurry up. It's fourth down. Hurry up. The time's running out. You got 5 seconds.
you got 4 minutes to say.
Oh, I didn't even write number 4. I don't even care. How did our chemistry community affect your experience? I just didn't even write it. I wrote the questions.
Great.
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 Oh, no, you can ask Hunter after.
So not.
You sat next to old grandma and she didn't learn anything.
Is this the stat textbook?
You put my name down.
How much was it?
Oh, did you say she didn't learn anything?
It's Lacey,
You said that
right?
class.
Yes,
Not.
Oh, how sweet. You'll probably be a doctor and I'll probably end up being your nurse. I'm like, oh, I know you can. I don't know about that.
So you're passing everything to the center. Have you reached that point? Because then I will talk to you about what we're doing next.
No.
Are we doing molecular geometries and bonding theories?
Hey, man.
Get away.
Get out of my food like that. Don't be touching it. It smells good.
What?
Okay, so we talked about Lewis structures, which are two-dimensional representations about how molecules combine when they bond together, how they combine, and they're flat on our piece of paper. What we're going to do today is look at molecular geometries, how we can turn that two-dimensional molecule that's really not two-dimensional into a three-dimensional molecule. Now, the reason we want to do that is because the reactivity of different compounds is based on its three-dimensional structure and how it can get next to another molecule to have it bond. So that's what we're looking at. So molecular shapes. The shape of a molecule plays an important role in its reactivity. By noting the number of bonding and non-bonding electron pairs, we can easily predict the shape of the molecule. So see the one up at the top? We looked at carbon dioxide and we actually wrote its Lewis structure. Do you remember that? It's a linear structure. It looks like that. Those double bonds are rigid. If you look down at the bottom, you can see nitrogen trifluoride. It has three fluorines bonded to it, but it's like ammonia. What else does it have? How many bonds, how many electrons do you have around the nitrogen? How many do you want to find? How many do you want to count?
8.
8. And you can see 2, 4, 6 in the bonds. There is a non-bonding pair there. Remember the extra 2 little dots that were there at the top? So when you count it, you count 4 non-bonding pairs. You count 3 pairs. It's trigonal pyramidal. And we're going to look at how counting the number of bonds will simply give you that information. So what determines the shape? Electron pairs, whether they're bonding or non-bonding, repel each other. They don't want to be close to each other. So this is our ammonia molecule that we have. We wrote the Lewis structure for this when you were here on Wednesday. Notice that there are bonding pairs between nitrogen and hydrogen and a non-bonding pair up there at the top. By assuming the electron pairs are placed as far apart as possible from each other, we can predict the shape of the molecule. We can refer to the electron pairs as electron domains, and that allows us to get a better idea. In a double or triple bond, all electrons shared between 2 atoms are in the same side of the central atom, therefore they're an electron domain. So we have an electron domain here, we have one here, and this is one electron domain even though it's got a double bond in it, okay? So this molecule has 4 electron domains. It has one here, it has one here, it has one here with this double bond, and it has a non-bonding pair down here at the bottom. So it has 4 electron domains, and that's going to give us information about its shape. The theory or the idea that we use to talk about shapes of molecules is called valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, and you'll hear it referred to as VSEPR theory. That says that the electrons want to be as far apart as possible because they repel each other, so they don't want to be close together. So if you had 2 electron pairs, you would arrange them in such a way as that they would be as far apart as possible, which would be like this, right? And there would be a 180-degree angle between both of them, and it would be called a linear molecule, okay? And we're going to look in a minute with balloons and as to how this particular idea works. And we're going to look at it right now. Okay, so we're going to give each pair of you a balloon. Okay, and what you need to do is find another pair in their balloon and stick your 2 balloons together and see what type of molecule, what shape molecule you have. Okay, so you pass out balloons. Now, if you get little balloons, you're going to have to be more careful, okay? We had big balloons and little balloons, so if you have a little ones, you need to be more careful in how you put them together. You do want to tie them off. So you're going to have to make groups of 3. You can't have anybody by yourself, so you'll have to turn around and work with the ladies behind you or something. And when you turn around and work
That's so cool.
Are we doing?
I want that. Are you blowing it up?
Are these the ones we use during the summer for Smash?
No, these are different ones. Some of these have periodic tables on them. They're American Chemical Society.
What are we?
Yeah, go ahead and blow them up.
Blow it up.
You do know how I blow up a balloon, right?
How big? getting lightheaded.
Not any bigger than that. It just makes it harder to put them together.
Do I tie it? Do I tie it?
Yes, you do. Pull it up and tie it off.
This guy?
Do relax. How do we?
Can I have that one? Oh, I need one.
No, you don't have one.
But it's
You didn't
ripped.
get one?
It's ripped.
Oh, no. They're only 5 or 6 years old. What do you
Sucks to
expect? Golly.
We're blowing up 5-year-old balloons.
Yeah.
Like that, but it doesn't last long.
Yeah, yours have the periodic table on it.
Yeah.
That.
Some of them do and some of them don't.
I want that one. Get that one to me.
Congrats. Sorry.
There are some that have holes in it. If you have a hole in your balloon, then you need to raise your hand and tell Kelsey because she'll bring you another
You have a hole in your balloon. Give it to Marky and he'll put it in.
So here's what you need to do now. You need to find another group and see what it looks like when you have two together. You need to write it down in your notes somewhere so you can figure it out. We're going to draw a picture up here in a minute after you figure out what it looks like.
That's cute.
Barbell.
That's
Yeah,
linear.
hold them together with your
No, let's make
hands.
ours big.
What? Yeah.
Did your balloon even live?
Yeah.
Does your balloon even live? How old are you?
I'm in high school, bud. Don't forget it.
Yeah, it's the 13th grade. I forgot.
That's my
This is probably still 12th grade. I think his teachers just kind of felt bad for him and tried to make
Okay, so here's what you're supposed to figure out. Right now you have two balloons. One looks like this and one looks like that. When you put them together like this is a 180-degree angle. This is a linear molecule.
We got a
Okay,
180.
so two electron domains gives you linear.
Yeah, can you do 180?
Okay, then you're going to look at 3, 4, 5, and 6. So go for it. 3, 4, 5, and 6. You're writing
We
this
have a
down.
linear.
This will be on the test. You are writing this down. It will be on the test.
It'll
No.
be 109.5.
It's a linear
I'm
what?
not taking it. I don't know.
Linear what?
It's a linear 180. It's Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Bond with us. Well, I can only take one of those.
Wow, you gave up ours? Yeah, thank you.
Oh, somebody has this big balloon.
No, planar would be like.
No, it's planar, but how many pieces do you have?
Triangular.
Yeah, it's
Triangle.
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 What is the angle between the balloons?
90.
90 and 90 and 90
180.
is 270. What angle is it?
120.
Yes, it's 120. Why is it 120?
120, 120, 120, 360.
That's right. Absolutely. Very good.
So it's 360?
So it's 360 all the way around. The circle is 360. So this is 120 for each one of these, and this is trigonal planar.
Trigonal planar.
How do you spell that?
Okay. The next one.
Next one's like.
Have y'all got, you're moving along, you have to have, here's 4 balloons together. Mr. Van Winkle, have you put 3 balloons together?
I've got 2.
Okay, you need one more. Look behind you, they have a balloon back there.
What's this one?
90.
The 90?
Yep.
No, you hold them together.
What's this one called?
This one's called like a trigonal planar pyramid. Something.
What is this called?
4 E pairs?
I don't know.
What? I don't know, but it's 90.
It's called.
90.
It's not, it's
Pyramid. Is this the pyramid one?
It's 109.5. This is the
Told
type
you,
of
it's a
bonding
trigonal
that
planar
carbon does.
pyramid.
When you
That
mix
one.
an acid and a base.
Right, that one?
What do you call it?
Trigonal planar pyramid.
Call it
Tetrahedral.
tetrahedral.
Trigonal bipyramidal.
We need to find another one.
Tetra what?
Tetrahedral.
Digital player.
Tetrahedral.
Okay. I'm not gonna argue with you. You're the doctor.
Okay.
You're the doctor. 109.5.
Okay, I'm not watching you. I see one group of 4 balloons. There's 2 groups of 4 balloons. Let's see more groups of 4 balloons.
I'm just blowing up balloons.
Are we gonna have to know
Right here.
the degrees? Do we need to know the degrees on the test?
We do for the for the tetrahedral, because it's what carbon bonds as.
Okay.
109.5. It's one of those things that shows up on standardized exams. 109.5 tetrahedral, because most things in the world.
When are we
have
gonna take
carbon
standard
bonds,
exams
not
again?
carbon bonds.
Each.
Yes.
So there's a number 4 each balloon is.
Each balloon is probable.
Okay, can I see some more 4 balloons?
There we
Oh,
go.
there you go. It's different sizes. That looks like a hybridized orbital, but we won't talk about it at this point.
What?
But
Pretty good size going on.
if you have 4 electron domains together, they bond with a 109.5 degree angle between each and every balloon. This is what carbon does. So it's most of nature is based on that particular structure with 4 bonds. It shows up on many standardized tests. The structure is tetrahedral and it's 109.5 degrees. It will show up on your final. That's pretty straightforward.
That's pretty good. How is it going to show up though?
You never can tell.
What are you talking about?
Is it going to be like a question or a multiple choice or a?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You don't want me to launch off on knowing something and knowing how to
I'm running out of fingers here.
recognize it.
Well,
Yeah, your balloon.
Hey, that's our balloon, sir. That is true. That is our balloon.
Yeah, go back to you. You're the 13th grade, bro.
Okay, if you have 5, if you have 5 electron domains,
I did until somebody took it.
I was trying to walk around the gym and then walk through the aisle.
Drew took my
okay, if you have 5 electron domains, you have 2 planes that are working. Shh, you have 2 planes that are working. Anybody got it together yet? No. Okay, you need to have 3 on the central plane and 1 above and below. There we go. Can you get that, Mr. Traxler? Hold it up, Mr. Traxler.
Yeah. Hold up.
Okay, and it looks. Okay, it looks like this. You see there are 3 on the central plane right here? What do you think the angle is between these 3? It's 120, just like it was because it's a triangle. Hold that thought. 1 more minute. Okay, it's 120, 120, 120, and then there's 1 above and below. This is called trigonal bi, because it's got 2 bipyramidal. It's got a pyramid at the top and a pyramid at the bottom. Trigonal bipyramidal. Okay? Now you get to have 6 electron domains. And we're going to do what Ms. Parker suggested. The central plane is going to have a 90-degree angle. How many are going to be there? 4.
Oh, no.
You got enough
You're not being
fingers?
cool too. Let me see our name.
That doesn't apply.
Anybody have a rubber band?
No, it's not.
I have a
You didn't tell me
hair.
to bring my
I
rubber
know.
band
and the
ball.
rubber
Here,
band is
how about this,
Oh, okay.
Yes.
My bad.
You use it to hold your hair back?
Sarah?
Oh, Sarah's hair back.
Ooh.
Yes.
Kinky there, son.
Okay.
What?
So this is the last electron
That was
domain.
bad.
Notice there is 1, 2, 3, 4 on that central plane. The angle between each one of them is how much?
70.
Miss Parker, 90 degrees. It's in a square. It's 90 degrees. There's 1 above and 1 below. This is called octahedral because it has 8 faces. 1 face, 2 faces, 3 faces, 4 faces on the top, and the same on the bottom. So it's octahedral. It has 8 faces. Okay, so it looks like an octahedron.
Why wouldn't they ask that one?
Yes, you can.
Did we do triangle?
That help?
Trigonal? Yeah.
We did that.
Trigonal, bipyramidal, and octahedral.
Yeah, I saw that. I want that.
Okay, so anybody have any questions about electron domains?
No, that helps.
No, it didn't. You're lying to yourself. What?
No, it's not.
It's not on Blackboard?
Yeah, this is on Blackboard.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah, that's on Blackboard. It's up there.
Keeping that? Keeping that?
Uh-oh.
Okay, so what I want you to do, we're going to finish up here in the next 10 or 15 minutes. You've got your balloon, so you can think about it if you need to. You need to write the Lewis structures for methane, CH4, for ammonia, NH3, and for water, H2O. And these are going to be examples of different types of molecular geometries. This one right here, in particular, is another one of those things that shows up on standardized exams. Okay, so let's write the electron configuration for methane, ammonia, and water, and see if you can figure out what its molecular geometry is by counting its electron domains.
What?
We have no idea.
You have no idea about
I got this.
You got this?
You're writing write the Lewis.
The Lewis structure with dots.
Okay, last dot. Hey, I got you. What do you need?
I got you.
So it's,
Yes, sir.
it's an overlapping
Yeah,
symbol.
man.
Sorry.
Okay.
I guess.
Alright, so I got it written.
Oh.
Now what?
I'm so confused. I'm about to find out.
Sick. You gonna carry that around all day? Mm-hmm. Put it like that. Bigger balloon. You got periodic table in the bottom. That's sick. Alright, so I got that. Then what are we doing?
Jay, holy crap, bro.
So it's a touch of
Okay, how many of you have written the electron configuration, the Lewis structures for methane, water, and ammonia? Mr. Nelson Garcia has, Ms. Pickett has. Anybody else joining them? Ms. Lacey has.
Sure.
It's hard to figure out molecular geometry without electron configuration and without the Lewis. You can't do it without the Lewis structure.
Okay.
Okay.
Then what are we writing?
So this one will be a linear because they want to be as far away as possible from each other straight. So it's going to be a linear, right? Just right.
No, I just took it off the back one.
We have tetrahedral. And then
Let me get it.
that one's
Trigonal.
Yeah.
Planar.
What?
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing.
write the Lewis. Brandon.
He's got that.
I know what I'm doing.
He's got that part.
I just don't know how to explain it. I know how to do it.
No, somebody over here said they never.
I do.
I don't understand why you have to keep pulling your leg. What?
I'm doing it right.
No, that's not right.
This is right. Oh, I haven't done this. I haven't done this one yet.
That's not right?
I just wrote that down.
No, it's not linear.
I've done that one and that one.
Is water? Wait, water's not linear.
No,
Is it?
it's not linear. It looks like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, he did it right. But wouldn't they want to be as far away as they possibly?
Yes, but it's bent, and that's
So,
why.
bent, I
That's
forgot.
why.
How do you know when they're bent? How do you know when they're bent?
Not very many of them are bent, but that's why water is a polar molecule. That's why water is such a good solvent. Because it has the polarity, and it can pull them apart. Glasses are awful. It's like,
Can you see me now?
not now. But that's the reason.
I forgot that was one of them. So it's what do we get? What tetrahedral for what is it? CH2 or CH4? Methane. Oh, it's methane. So that should be. So the methane should be tetrahedral, right? Because
Yes.
okay, and then the ammonia was the trigonal planar because it looks like this.
What's the other part?
Something like this.
I'm just supposed to put like the oxygen in. Is there only one to one? That's only 4.
Oh, does she want you to do? I was going
I did.
Does she want you
They actually sent me 3.
No, I just sent you another one. The first 3 were of you, right? Yeah, this one's pretty good.
Oxygen has 6.
Oh, that's just wrong. That's just wrong.
These are 2.
I don't know whether I don't know whether or not she wants you to do the unbonded pair.
Just to get it.
Yeah, I said that's me.
That's me.
Funny. I mean,
It was 100 seconds. I was like,
Oh,
dude, that's
you're
not good.
recording this, and I'm quiet.
But her in the back, she's recording. Just wave and say hi.
I don't know that I want to wave. I don't know who that is.
In the very back, lady in black.
Oh, that's the blog.
The blog?
Yes, chemistry blog.
Well, there you go. You're in the chemistry blog. Left tail
I
test.
got my trigonal planar.
You do?
So I'll take a
I'm
picture.
happy about that.
Yeah, that's good.
Left tail test.
It hurt.
Please don't burst my balloon.
B. E5 right tail.
I just typed it.
What?
I was trying to unloose it, let the air out, keep it, but I just typed it.
Oh, that's all right.
But you know what, I need to go to that teacher's store.
We got these as freebies from BCC.
I have 4 balloons. We'll see if I can get them on
Hey,
there.
did she find out if she got the?
No, I don't. No, I haven't heard. And she would have told me. She would have come jumping in training and told me. So I don't know.
Don't
if
pause
she's
those,
heard
please.
anything.
If you get by text, so
I
I
will.
can be happy about it.
I will.
I hope she gets it.
Me too.
0 2 right.
She was nominated for an award for chemistry.
She's one of only a very few.
That was nominated for an award.
Out of who?
Some of the
Chemistry
great
professors in Texas.
Yeah.
At different universities?
Dr. Peck, I got you a 6.
Oh, very good, Mr. Trexler. Look at that. It's an octahedral.
Don't you have another chemistry class?
Yes, and we need it. Yeah, don't pop your balloons. We've run out. This is it.
No, wait, because that was really hard to hold.
Ours actually only 5.
Yeah,
I saw that.
What happens when you take too much steroids?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, look up here. Our methane looks like this when it's complete. It's a carbon, it's got 4 hydrogens around it. How many electron domains?
4.
4. What type? What's the shape?
Tetrahedral.
And what's the angle?
109.5.
109.5. Here's ammonia right here. We have nitrogen and hydrogen and hydrogen and hydrogen and a non-bonding pair. It forms a tetrahedral, but there is no hydrogen on top of it, So it pushes it down and it forms trigonal planar. Trigonal planar. Oxygen is one of those that, water is one of those that shows up on standardized tests.
Always.
Always. Oxygen bonded to hydrogen, another hydrogen, and 2 non-bonding pairs. It's got 4 electron domains, so it forms a tetrahedral, but there's nothing here and here, so this structure is called bent. Bent. So the molecular geometry of water is bent. Things that you end up hearing or seeing on standardized tests. Tetrahedral geometry for carbon molecules. Most carbon molecules form some sort of tetrahedral structure. And water forms a tetrahedron, but it doesn't have 2 of the sites occupied by hydrogens, and consequently the structure is called bent.
Do we have the degree on the water?
No, but you could look it up if you felt the inclination. Well, it's 109.5 all the way around it, right? It bends it somewhat because it's not there. So it started out at 109.5. It changes slightly because of the structure. You do not have to know the angle. Okay, anybody have any questions about this? Okay, for those of you who still have our balloons, we are going to come and pick them up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have to take government politics.
You haven't taken it yet?
No, and I'm taking
You take buggies?
yes. And then I have New Testament. Easy.
With who?
I have lifespan nutrition, I think.
Lifespan development, psychology.
Okay. I'm taking the nutrition.
Wow.
Nutrition, government nutrition, PM.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I have your comprehensive makeup exams. They are graded. Graded the Bible verse.
Hey, track.
Graded the essay question. Your good news for the day is that the essay questions will be the same for the final as they for the comprehensive makeup exam.
Thank you.
So most of you have already
I'm glad I
practiced
did
at this
it.
point. The Bible verse, however, is different. It is the 23rd Psalm. Now, I've heard many of you telling me how difficult it is. My expectation was that you had already heard it at least once or twice before in your life. If not, it is one. The Bible is literature. The 23rd Psalm is one of those poems that you expect to hear. So it's a Psalm of David, who is the principal author of the book of Psalms, which is what a literate person knows. So give it a try. Also, once you memorize it, you can use it at all kinds of interesting times. My husband got lost in the mountains above Red River, New Mexico. He took a wrong turn in the middle of the night because my son used his batteries out of his flashlight in his Game Boy. And he didn't know he had no flashlight until after he was gone. And I had no idea where he was. So there's something that you can say to yourself at that point in time.
Help me, Jesus.
Who in the world goes hiking in the wilderness in the middle of the night? I'm going to call your name. So please come and get your comprehensive makeup exam. If you have questions for me, once again, like it was before, if you think I've misgraded it, please make a copy of what you think I did wrong and write down and stick it under my door. Mr. Atkins, Miss Baker, Miss Barker.
Well, I mean, I would scan it and then
Miss Barker, Miss Baker, Mr. Atkins. Miss Burgess. Miss Burgess made 100.
Yay, Miss Burgess.
It's like whatever.
And Miss Coleman.
It's like whatever.
Miss Burris and Miss Coleman.
Traction. You failed, bro.
No, I will not take it with me.
I
I
didn't,
must
I
come
didn't study. I just wanted to answer the question.
I'm just kidding, bro.
I mean,
You're welcome. Miss Choppa, Mr. Christopher, no, Miss Christopher, and Miss Kieran, Mr. Hartley, Mr. Hodger, and Miss Horton.
I guarantee you didn't. You probably got an A. You didn't, did you not answer some of them? I didn't answer some of them. Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? Oh, all the ones that were bolded were the answers. I was like, yeah. Oh.
Miss Jenkins, Miss Miss
I wonder if she did that on purpose.
Did you take it, Brandon?
Yeah. I didn't answer some of the questions. Fine.
Mr. Maddox, Mr. Menger, Mr. Nelson Garcia.
I noticed that. I was like,
yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything though.
And Mr. Nelson Garcia. Miss Owens, Miss Pekrovsky, Miss Patterson, Mr. Patterson, Miss Pickett, and Mr. Poe.
Bro, that's recording.
Miss Powers, Miss Price.
who's up? Like, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't know that. I was walking in front of stretching and stuff.
Mr. Walters, Mr. Traxler, Mr. Gomez.
Yeah, she did.
Hey, what? Can we get the cheese?
I didn't look before. Like, I didn't do this one. Yeah, I didn't study. Like, I just want to see how prepared I was going in there.
Okay, I wanted to know. No.